You are listening to The Black Landscape with Andrea Spearman, where Black excellence is always trending. Welcome, welcome. We are back with another episode of The Black Landscape. And today we are blessed to have with us two dynamic sisters who are both beautiful songbirds, okay? Adesha and AlexisRose. Please introduce yourselves. And Adesha, let's hear from you first as a big sister, because I'm also a big sister. Boom.
Hi, folks. My name is Adesha Adefela. I was born in San Fran, raised in Oakland, California. There are 5 of us total. Kids, I don't know why I'm giving my whole dang life story. But I'm a singer, songwriter, actress, playwright. My husband says I remind him of the girl on Coming to America who's like, I'm an actress. And then, I make like earrings background. And then so that's who I am, folks. Adesha.
Hey, my name is Alexis. Hey, fam, what's good? I am Adesha's little sister. And, I am a singer-songwriter, female rapper, just creator all around. I also own a couple of preschools in the Bay. I'm born and raised in Oakland, California, and just love creating inspirational content for everyone. But I think my goal is just to inspire, especially, teenagers, college students, as people start aging and developing their opinions and their feelings, just finding content to inspire them and, grow to be their best. So that's me.
Wait, hold on now. When you start rapping?
I know, right?
I missed that.
Right? Exactly.
I officially I think I started mostly when I was singing in my brother's band, and he's a rapper. I mainly learned from him. So I thoroughly enjoy rapping. I just have to, squeeze it in when I can.
That's so funny. I did not know that. I'm like, wait a minute.
She over here trying to be the resurrection of Lauryn Hill. You like,
hey.
Hey, trust, it can happen, definitely, because she's definitely raw with the bars.
That's so interesting that you both are living in this multi-hyphenated stage of life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting as Black women, what we carry, the slashes, the slash this, slash that, and it's always carrying those many, many hats.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think of it like, so my husband's Nigerian, and I got to go to Nigeria in 2009. And one of the things that I saw were a lot of market women who were literally wearing multiple hats, being moms, running store, wives, multiple businesses, And so I'm like, wow, I'm a true African market woman.
Come on.
It's beautiful.
Hashtag African market woman.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay. I love it.
Wow.
Well, I want to focus in on the music. If we could get some background, like, how did you get into music? Like, seriously pursuing music?
So I think both of us. So our mother is a singer, songwriter, actress. We basically get our multi-hyphenated life from her.
Mm-hmm.
So she got her start singing in church, and then she did a lot of musicals, and she basically carried us along with her to all the musicals that she was in. She did a residency with Beach Blanket Babylon, which is a very well-known Bay Area play. It's had international attention.
I think it's the longest running.
Yeah, longest running. So watching her be the excellence that she was and is inspired me to want to imitate what she did. At first, I hated it though, because she's dragging you everywhere, and she's like, "Okay, sing." And you're like, sing. No, mom, I don't want to sing. I don't want to. I just want to go down the slide with my friends. And she's like, "No, let's go sing." Especially when she pulls you out of your classroom in the 5th grade and your hair is jacked up and she wants you to go sing in front of doctors. But that's okay. So, but eventually, when I would come into my own, I realized that singing is a gift. Creativity is a gift. And so I wanted to live that gift. And just having my mom as the example for, or the template for how to do it, gave me maybe an edge that others maybe have to develop over the years. Last part is that I had a cousin who also was very talented and would always big me up about, you know, being a great singer and that I should get out there. And I was kind of shy about it. And in '96, he was killed due to senseless gun violence. And, you know, I would think to myself, if he were alive, what would he do? He would live his best life. He would live his dreams. He would not dumb down his gifts. He would, you know, live them. So I vowed to myself that I would do what he would do if he were alive, and, you know, live my dream of using my gifts to make an impact on the world.
Yes. Finger snaps to not dumbing down your gifts.
For real.
Hallelujah.
Love it.
Yeah, for me, so the question is, how did we get started in our music career?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think for me, it's interesting having this conversation with my sister here, because I feel like she's a part of that story for me. You know, definitely with my mom. I love watching my mom do her thing, just period. She's an incredible person. Tons of energy. I feel like she has 10 times more energy than I do to this day.
It's very true.
yeah. And then also with my sister, I think seeing her be, you know, it's interesting. Her and my mom are similar but different, and I think I got a really good, like a well-rounded spectrum, you know, and like kind of my mom, like go type of thing. Do, you know, have many different opportunities, be everywhere, talk to everybody, you know, that type of thing. And my sister being more of the, okay, let's be really intentional with what we're going to do here, you know, really having a plan, having a brand. I feel like she's really good at being excellent, you know, and intentional. And so I feel like with both of those sides, I think I channel both of those things. Like, yeah, I think just having both, where it's go, but also have a plan, you know, really being intentional. And then I think on a really like where did it physically start? Just a super short story. There was this show that my mom and my sister were performing for in the church that we were at, and they had this concert. It was for like the singles and all that stuff. And I think I was like 7 years old, and this other woman was supposed to sing my part. My mom and my sister, they were singing background vocals, and they had leads during the rest of the show, but it was kind of like a variety show. And anyways, I went to all the rehearsals with them, of course, because much like my mom brought my sister everywhere and me and my brother and, you know, whatever. By then, my sister was older, and, you know, and she was doing her own music. And so they were both bringing me around what they were doing. And so then I naturally learned the song that they kept practicing over and over again. And then the woman, I think she got sick. Do you remember this?
I vaguely remember it. Yes. I'm not even going to say the title, but yes, go ahead.
Yes. And so anyways, the lead singer for that song, just that song, she got sick and was like, I can't do the show. And they're like, oh my gosh, who are we going to have do the show? And I remember saying, I know the song. And they were like, okay. My sister and my mom were like, okay, well, let's hear what you got, you know, type of thing. And so I sang it, and they totally were like, Alexis is going to do the song. I remember it was a few hundred people, maybe a couple hundred people.
She blew us away.
And I was wearing my little silver jacket. I remember the feeling. And I think that really ignited, you know, on a visual level, to see a room of people be impacted. You know, we have this special moment, this connection. And it just became so valuable to me. Like, wow, the fact that it's just, you know, 4 minutes, and there's this deep connection that happens. You know, people feel like they know you. They feel like, wow, what, you know, they resonate with your energy, you know. And so, yeah, that's long story short. I'm sure it's
I
wrong.
love that story. I love that story because the way that you just described it now, like you're in your costume, you're stepping up in front of all these people and you're out there for those 4 minutes and you feel like you connected with those hundreds of people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Similar story to how I really started my dance career when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm like, oh, how does she know? Was she there?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But I think that's a really, through line to artists. We have that moment to where it comes to you like, boom, this is it. This is your purpose. Didn't that feel good? Like, continue that.
Right.
And I love what you said about intentionality. That is definitely the word. And tell me, is that how you both approach songwriting, with intentionality on subject matter?
It depends, now I'm actually in an intentional space because I have some goals before me. So, I will be releasing a single on the 21st of May this month.
Yay.
I'm excited. And then I have a goal of releasing another single in August with the Sleepers Records. So, when I approach songwriting with goals in mind, then it's way more intentional. Then there are times when it's just strictly emotional. I'm going through something and I'm feeling, some kind of way. I have a pen and some paper near me. I pick it up, I write. Sometimes I feel like it's spiritual. I will say it's not always spiritual, just to be 100. But,
Gotta keep it 100.
But there are times when I'm literally like just walking in nature or with my little girl, and I feel like I like to think of God as definitely God, but also God in the universe, and using all the elements and everything just drops one on me. And the lyrics are there and they just come out and I'm like, oh, give me a pen, give me a paper, like, oh, I gotta write this, or just maybe one hook line comes out, yesterday, the hook line that came out of me was RIP to my hip hop homies, and just thinking about, all of the hip hop greats we've lost this year and just like, dang, this was our history, this is who we grew up on. And and then I was questioning myself, is hip hop as we knew it dying? Is it passing on? Is it in retirement? And I was like, ooh, these are all lyrics for, a song, Adesha. So moments like that where the universe is just dropping something on you.
Yeah.
Dropping gems in your spirit.
Dropping gems. I like that. Yes.
Yes. I think recently, well, definitely I relate to my sister where sometimes I'll literally just pray for a song. I'll be on my little morning prayer walk and just ask God for music, But other times, the shower is a huge space for me to to think of music.
You too.
Yes. It's so funny. I think, yes, it's interesting again having my sister here because I feel like there's so many things about me where I'm like, yeah, well, she already said it. So I think we, just being in the same house and learning in very similar ways. Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like the shower is huge for me, I think, because there's little distraction. I think being a multifaceted artist, when I'm around a bunch of noise, I'm trying to, wear many hats and things like that. But I think in the bathroom, that sounds so funny. It's quiet. There's not much distraction. I don't have my phone. I'm not getting phone calls, all that stuff. And so all of a sudden I'm just more connected with, that whole inspirational feel. And then sometimes I think recently I've been a bit more intentional, really trying to ride the inspirational wave and really thinking of, what is a song that, for example, a 20-year-old that doesn't know what their purpose is in life, they feel lonely. They don't know where they're going. and maybe their parents think they're crazy because they moved across the country. What would that person need to hear, you know? And so that has really been the pocket that I've been in recently in this next project that I'm working on. And then recently also writing for some other artists, which has been really exciting to be able to get, you know, I guess like a description of what they want to feel or, you know, that type of thing and writing from there. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, you have to. You better branch out and write for other people. That's how you do. That's how you get the coins.
Yeah.
So, people, you heard it here first. Inspiration from the bathroom and from nature.
Yeah, you know, when she was talking about inspiration from the bathroom and finding place to basically be alone as a mom, yeah, that's my little sanctuary.
Ooh-wee.
You know, my child's like, Mom, and then, you know, putting on my makeup and I'm in the bathroom. I'm in my sanctuary. It's like my little Zen hour. And she comes inside there and she's like, hey, we're going to play Locked Inside the Bathroom game right now. Like, no, we're not playing Locked Inside the Bathroom game because I'm in here and it's my sanctuary time. So lock yourself out the bathroom.
Right. Direct yourself on out of here.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and your bathroom is totally Zen decor anyways.
And that's so funny because Adesha, I definitely wanted to ask you, like, how does being a mother balance with your musical career?
I'm still learning how to do that. You know, the cool thing is though, initially, I mean, becoming a mom is the most amazing thing, right? No matter how it's done, whether you birth a child, adopt a child, you know, take on one of your relatives' kids, it's just an amazing thing. So, you know, I was really excited when I got pregnant. I actually was the most productive when I was pregnant in terms of doing music. I wrote 3 albums in 1 year, working with a group called Daddy's Cash. Did 2 music videos for that group. With being maybe 3 months pregnant, I think I was, taking a road trip to LA and being in 5-inch high heels from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. doing a music video.
Okay, sis.
And then later on, I wound up becoming Billboard charted for a song called We Will Never Know that year. So that was 2015. But after giving birth, actually that was 2014, giving birth in 2015, it's interesting because she was born in January, which is like the beginning of a whole new year. So
yes, January baby's in the house.
So, you know, but I got depressed after having her. I'm not talking about postpartum depression, but just how does this define my future? You know, and some of my relationships changed, my music relationships. I think they got afraid maybe that I wasn't going to be as available as I had been before. So for a while, I didn't do anything and got very discouraged. Thank God for my brother, who's also a musician, an amazing writer, rhymer, singer, and
entrepreneur,
move maker. But you know, he would go to this place on Sunday nights called 55 South in San Jose. They still do their thing to this day. And I was like, can I go? He was like, yeah. So I watched him, and then he was like, why don't you come up on the mic? And I'm like, nah. Okay. Get up there, and the feeling of performing live with the band. I vibe off the audience, but I really vibe off a good band. I could feel the bass and the floor. It's making me like, it's vibrating my cells, my blood, you know, and it just got me. And I was like, I need to do this again. And so my husband, thank God for a husband who's very, he really cares about me living my dreams. And he's a very supportive husband. And so he's like, well, this is what you need to be doing. How do we make this happen? So, you know, communication between the two of us has really allowed me to do what I'm doing. And I think that's what's important. And then, you know, the last part I'll say is that my daughter, she's very talented. I believe that she's going to be a singer too, not because it's just a family thing, but because she actually has a voice and is very keen to music and rhythm. I don't want her to see me again dumb down my gifts and try to vicariously live through her. I want her to be inspired by what I do and to be able to model what I do because I'm doing it as opposed to just teaching it.
Amazing. It's so great that you had a supportive partner to help you make that step and make that decision to continue following your dreams and your passions.
Yeah, and my heart goes out to single moms, not, like who have to figure this out on their own in some way. And, it makes me think of my friend Tracy Cruz, who is a beast.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Gets the work done, and she's a single mom. So it honestly, it leaves me with no excuse, So while I have a supportive spouse, I know that that's not everybody's situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, also keeping in mind that no matter where I'm at in life, that this is a gift, and what would God want me to do with it? He would want me to share it.
I wanna look at life and know that yesterday is done with no regrets, with no regrets. Cause so much challenges make me feel like the only one. They tell me lies, they tell me lies. Trapped inside my mind, I get so tired of what I created. Is there a new place for me? It's easy to run away, to hide away, you know it, it's easy.
Hey fam, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you about it. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard across Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, just in one place. Now download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Speaking of family, since we're in that pocket right now, before we started, Adesha mentioned that this was the first interview that she's done with Alexis. So we making history right now.
That's right.
We making history right now. History, okay?
Yes. Why do you think that is? Why have you guys not spoken together before?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, she getting deep up in here. Let's
I
have
know.
a little extra therapy session.
Oh, right. I could, the first thing that comes to mind, I think, just naturally in different genres of music, I used to sing with, like I said, in my brother's band, and, it was very, like R&B, neo soul, hip hop, feel good, and I ended up, I've always loved like dance music, pop music, very mainstream. And being from Oakland, many people don't really like pop mainstream. It is what it is. And so I think, with, my brother and sister sharing that, I think it's just kind of been a different crowd, a different journey, because eventually they ended up working together. And I love them working together. I love seeing them perform together. I love when all three of us get to, but, since the genre is different, I'm usually not doing my favorite style, So, I mean, that's the first thing I think about. I don't know. Deesh, what do you think?
So first, one of the biggest things is that, and I hate to admit this, but Alexis and I are 10 years apart. And it doesn't feel like it though. Like,
no, not at all.
It doesn't. I mean, when we were younger, of course, when I'm 16, she's 6. Like, I'm not like, and then, when I was talking to him, he was like,
right. Not quite close enough for those kind of chats.
But we really started gelling, I think, when she was around 18, having sister conversations. So there's the conscious and there's the subconscious that I want to say is a part of the answer to that question. Consciously, we were just in 2 different age groups, 2 different eras of music. I was in the neo soul and she was in the pop, and we just didn't do a lot of music together. Occasionally, my mom would have us all 3, my mom, my sister, and I sing together in church.
Yeah.
And, that was inspiring. It's a great feeling, but I think I can speak for both of us when I say that wasn't our style of music. Usually it was my mom's style. My mom was like,
Yeah.
let's sing a Diana Ross song. And you're like, no. She's like, yes. And you're like, fine, I'll eat the oatmeal. We would do that. And so, with those bridges not coming together, I'm reaching out to neo soul radio interviews and, Alexis's pop. And then, of course, mom is looking for everything that's gospel and flipping it, we having church in here. So get your Bibles, that kind of thing.
Oh,
I am having church in here. I'm going to get my Bible. Like that kind of stuff. I'm
you
like,
better praise them.
I'm like, no. Anyway.
Yes. So she
but
was the Kirk Franklin before
she
Kirk
was
Franklin?
basically, remix. Subconsciously, in full transparency, I think for me, there was some fear in performing with my sister. Because and being in the same space with her, because I felt like people would have to choose who they were going to like more. And so, when I was younger, I was in a girl group, and this is in the 90s. I'm dating myself right now. In that era, lighter skin, skinnier, longer hair was put up front. And so of the groups that I hung out with, I always tended to be the darker skinned, chunkier, shorter hair person. So it's like the triple non-threat. So you're gonna go in the back, but I felt like I had a story to share. I had a lot of content. I had creativity, and I shouldn't be thrown in the back because I'm thicker, because I got shorter hair, because I'm a little bit darker. And it's so funny because I've even told my friends, I was like, yeah, I'm a dark skin. They're like,
you're not.
Right.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Compared to who?
But yeah, exactly. So, a lot of my family is pretty fair, and there's definitely colorism in our family too. So there was that fear of, if I performed alongside her, she happens to be lighter, thinner, and longer hair. And, I wouldn't want anybody to choose my sister over me, because I wouldn't want to feel any kind of envy or jealousy towards my sister. I wouldn't want that feeling at all. Let her be great in her own space, and I'll be great in my own space, but don't ever put us together and people have to choose. But I've become more confident in my self and my size, even though it's not ideally where I want to be, more so for health reasons, not about what I look like, but just about health. But I love my hair. I love my complexion. I think the self-confidence has helped me to stand alongside and be okay with if people choose her over me, knowing that that's great. It's great for her, but it doesn't mean that I'm any less. Doesn't mean that I have any less significance. It just means that for whatever reason at that time, she resonated with whomever was watching her. And they could have completely superficial reasons, but that's their own journey to figure out. It's not for me to try and make them figure that out. So at this point, I'm just enjoying being me. If I got a small niche audience that appreciates what I do, great. If you want me to be something that I'm not great. So I'm just gonna stay true. So I think, that has been subconsciously more for me why we haven't done anything together. And now she lives, in LA, which is harder for us to do something together. But I'm hoping that as we move forward, definitely more collaborations and opportunities for us to combine will happen.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Right. Yeah.
I was going to say, that's so interesting that she feels that way, because I'm like number one fan. But it's true. I mean, when you think about the outside, I could, I totally understand that. I feel like, from my perspective, the thought of being on stage with my sister, I'm usually in awe. So I'm usually a lot more quiet around her, because I'm like,
come on, don't make me melt my lashes now, okay?
Oh my gosh.
I got glue on my contacts trying to put them on, so.
I'm usually in awe. I'm usually like, well, I don't need to do anything, type of thing. And so, it is really sad. I think the reality of, even today, there is still colorism. And, at one point, when I was, they were a company, they were trying to scout for a girls group. And I really saw colorism with regard to to looks, to the longer hair, the lighter skin, the colorful eyes, things like that. And when they were putting the group together, and, for sake of legal things, just in case, I won't say the name, but, I was in the category of, okay, cool, we're going to have you be the good singer. And we're going to use this really pretty, exotic looking Black girl with really silky, curly hair and green eyes to be the pretty girl type of thing. Mm-hmm. And, and one of my friends who is beautiful as well, and chocolate, and, and kind of like the representative of, you are the representative of the darker skinned Black woman, type of thing.
Right.
And I just remember being so affected by that, wow, we're very similar. We all have the same background. Even certain mannerisms were very similar, but just in terms of image, it is huge. And it was kind of hurtful. I just remember I ended up not moving forward because I wouldn't have been able to walk away with my GED. But I just remember that kind of played a role in my heart, and I think it really became a catalyst for me in seeking God, and seeking purpose and seeking confidence. No, this world is too crazy. There's too much baggage, there's too much pain, and then we're over here, a group of Black women, people trying to put us in a group, and we're all still being separated, I'm getting off my box right now.
Girl, we just got real on the Black landscape, this is what it's called,
Yes, no, definitely that insight from both of you about how colorism, has affected us past and present is still very much a relevant thing. I'm so grateful whenever I see more dark-skinned women in the music industry, whether it's commercial or local indie. I'm like, yes, Black woman, do it. Come on, brown skinned girl, let's do it. And it's Adesha, I share that similar experience of even though I'm a light skinned person, thick, body yaddy for days,
Yes.
And when I was a younger person and as a dancer, it really affected me more.
Yeah.
Because there was such a template in people's minds of what a dancer looks like. Mm-hmm. And for me, I had naysayers in my own family telling me, oh no, this is just a hobby for you. And I pushed past all that. And I was glad that I believed in myself because I'm here today. I've worked with various dance companies, whether it's performance or being on the administrative side, but really pushed myself to carve out my own niche in choreography and what I present as my vision on stage. So
killing it. Just killing it.
Thank you so much.
Seriously.
But I share that similar story, and I'm glad that there are so many people who are unafraid. And again, other people in the industry, like one of my favorite singers, Lizzo, is definitely the definition of people breaking out of the box as a dark-skinned woman, as a plus-size woman, as a woman who's just going to speak her mind and not be afraid or what other people think about it. Mm-hmm. I feel like we've come a long way, and we can continue to go further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those things were painful. Like my sister said, it was. I'm sure it was painful for her to experience that. It was painful for me to experience it, and quite like her, I walked away from the situation, and the other two girls were discouraged and disappointed, and didn't quite understand. And how. And it wasn't their fault even, it was the industry and management trying to orchestrate success based on Eurocentric values in our country. And so but the thing that I realize is that, man, if I go through stuff and I can't use it to make a difference, then what I went through it just has no meaning, has no reason.
That's right.
So being able to, take my pain and put purpose on it. It just, and that basically what catapulted me into wearing my natural hair, wearing an afro unapologetically, wearing my curves, and rocking them. Black girl magic, a moment of affirmation, like when you're going in the right direction, or I can't remember what the other word is, but anyway, I remember this one young lady who's chocolate. We were doing a gig. She had bang and weave. She came up to me. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I love everything about you." And her little hand magic was like the bop bop from the head,
Yes.
bop bop the arms down to the feet. And I was like, "Oh my Lord." And then she was like, "You're like giving Black women the confidence to be themselves." I was like, "Okay, Lord, okay, we're gonna do this work. We're gonna stay true," So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yes, she saw it in you, and I see it in you, and I'm sure there are so many others who appreciate the way both of you stand proud and you stay strong in your individualism.
Thank
but
you.
coming together, when we gonna get this sister collab though?
It's long overdue.
No, right? It's so true.
The streets is calling now.
The streets is calling. Not the streets is calling.
Well, maybe just my street. That's me. I don't know.
No, the streets is calling. The streets is calling. They actually been calling for me and my sister, and you know what? Actually, the truth is, we do have stuff. We actually have this one project with my brother, my mom, my sister, and myself called Dreaming Again. But it didn't get a lot of press. It's actually great. It's a great collaboration. I think it's on SoundCloud under Dreaming Again.
I need to go back and listen.
I know, we need to put it on our platforms or something, or tell Johnny to do a re-release or something, but yeah, so her and I even not no hateration towards my brother. I'm like, love you, Jonah, Movan, Johnny, Jonah, whoever you want to be. But love you, but actually doing something where the both of us come together. I think there's some real opportunity there. I think there's some real, and to dismiss, I almost want to say maybe even a song about dismissing all of those, colorism, dismissing ageism, dismissing sizeism or shapeism, dismissing that, and and telling our story. I'm feeling that. I almost feel like the universe is like that's what y'all need to do, and then in the end, just give them a straight sucker punch in the face. Ugh, there you go. All right, be who we are. You know what I mean? This is Black Girl Magic right here, right now, 2021.
Period.
And now we're going to take a simple little detour because Alexis, earlier you mentioned a note about schools. You said you own some schools?
Yes.
Tell the people more.
So I help run and co-own 2 schools. I help manage 4 in total, but we are Diamond Little People Academy. And, one is smaller with, a group of 14 children. The other has a max of 45 in Oakland. They're both in Oakland. And I help manage 2 of my mom's programs, which are Boulevard Little People Academy and Boulevard Babies and Pre-K Academy. They're really cute. The whole idea was since we grew up in the childcare industry, my mom's been doing it for 40 plus years, right, Deesh?
Yep.
And she's really incredible. Again, very multifaceted. And I think just seeing how it really gave us the freedom to, one, be raised with my parents. We were with them every single day. I feel like that really impacted who I am, and who we are. And and just seeing it allowed us to really explore, go on vacation. It gave us the flexibility to really build, and so just seeing that it allows me to do music, and recently moving to LA and being able to pursue my dream. And now I work from home, and we have the schools are fully functioning. And so I'm able to do some admin here and there, and also do finally what, be able to do music a lot more full time than what I was before. But yeah, I love serving my city. I'm honored to meet more families. I think nowadays you really have to be creative with your source of income. I feel like the starving, the starving artist, I'm like, it's not that dope, you guys.
Real talk.
Right.
Real
Do away
talk.
with that narrative.
Please, Jesus.
That thing needs to die. So, but yeah, I think just to be able to build your platform, or else you're really relying on other people. Like, I think that's how you get stuck in the whole, like, you got to dress this way, you got to look this way, blah, blah, blah. If you could bring in your own income, you could build your own brand. Well, I want to be this way. This is who I am. I do not need to change. God made me this way, this exact way, with the way my body is shaped, my nose, my hair,
You better
it
say
doesn't
that.
matter. Because those things were things where I was like, oh, if I'm going to be in the music industry, I'm going to have to change those things. I feel most insecure about those things. But with your own source of income, you could really create your own lane, and people want that lane. They want a new lane, to find themselves. And so I'm really grateful for, the childcare industry. People are always going to have babies. Okay. And
Always.
Them babies.
So keep having babies. And, I'm very grateful. But yeah, I mean, being a businesswoman, and I work with a consultant, Story to Brand, with Chantel and or S. Ladybug. Shout out to her. And
amazing,
she really is. I think the challenge that she holds me to is, again, being intentional, but also, just using the expertise of business with childcare and putting it into the way that I approach my music. And, I could let me whip up another school real quick. That's how I approach it. And she's like, you need to do that with your music, And
she always says, don't let your plan B get in the way of your plan A.
Come on. Another gem.
Another gem. So,
and another one.
And another one.
Yes, I love that. And that, that's again with the multi-hyphenated work model. I want to ask you, Alexis, so does your experience with children inspire you to be a role model or see yourself as a role model?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's funny, a studio that I'm contracted with right now, they have different suggestions with music, and we talk about my brand and things like that. And definitely shout out to them, the Mike House here in West Hollywood. And one of the things I have to communicate is I want all of my music to be able to be in the ears of children, of preteens, of, oh my gosh, the look on a child's face is pure innocence. That there's no baggage, there's no fear. And I mean, you learn so much from just watching a child's interaction. And so I think that definitely plays a huge part, and then even knowing that, me as a role model, or, all of us as role models, children watch, and when I say children, I mean like from really small, 18 months up to like, up to when they reach adolescence. And their eyes are wide, and they are learning from everything: speech, sounds, tones that that you make, things that you wear, the way that you walk, how you approach life, your decisions. And I feel like that's something that's really the weight that I carry. There's so many entertainers that I don't think take enough responsibility for that. And they kind of have no shade at all, but I think the industry just teaches us to be really selfish and all about ourselves in this moment. What feels good, what sells the most, what, all that stuff, when it really does affect the next generation, and they're going, cool, if that's what sells, then I'm going to do that. And so you see them taking off their clothes more, or saying certain words, or, reacting a certain way, getting into substance abuse, because it's what we teach them. And so that is huge for me. Every song that I write, I'm like, and it's funny again having my sister here, because I literally think about my niece. I think Io loves my music, and I'm so honored. And
She sings it all the time at home.
and I feel like I make it a lot for her and, my other nieces and nephews, but specifically because I know that she watches, and I can tell she's going to be some sort of singer. I'm like, we're going to learn together. You can listen to Auntie, you can watch Auntie. You can know that Auntie is going to be a God-fearing woman and wants you to be one as well, that type of thing. So long explanation to your question.
That's wonderful, because it really does start at home.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to role models and influences, you both have named your mother as your major influences. So definitely that through line of learning comes from within the home, and then it branches out.
Mm-hmm.
So where can the people learn more and hear more from you both? Drop all the socials.
Ooh.
That's a little song right there. Drop all the socials. All the socials. Yeah.
I'll let you have it. Boom.
Hey now,
Right.
ding ding. Okay, so everything Adesha Music. Adesha Music on Instagram. That's ADESHA music on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Where else? Pinterest, if you want to see my storyboard. Spotify. Although on Spotify, you just look up Adesha. First name Adesha. Is there any other platforms that I'm mentioning? My website, duh. Thanks, Alexis. You know what?
Got you.
www. Because I was born in the 70s.
Lord.
And you say www. But I was born in the later 70s, just in case you're wondering. Which changes everything about me, right? No. AdeshaMusic.com. I am, what do you call it? I sell merch, lots of merch. I have a movement called Wear Your Crown, which is a platform used to inspire African American women to wear their natural hair. And there are shirts, Wear Your Crown shirts on AdeshaMusic.com. And 20% of the proceeds go towards educating young African American women about the benefits, the beauty, and how to wear their natural hair.
Let's go.
I'm gonna need one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite t-shirts, actually.
Wear your crown. Wear your crown. Yes.
So my socials are all the same. AlexisRose Music, ALEXIS Rose Music, and YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not on so much, but I'm there. I just started a TikTok, and trying to get used to that.
I know.
Trying to get used to that. Please reach out to me. I love connecting with people. Slide into my DMs. Facebook. Spotify. I do have a song on there. I think I have mainly been working on this latest project, and so I'll be pumping that soon.
All right. So now Black Landscape audience is going to get a sneak preview from Adesha. Give us the tea, girl.
Oh, the tea.
Let's go.
So I, during pandemic, actually right before pandemic, was able to connect with a DJ out of France, Lyon, France to be specific. His name is DJ AK. He has worked alongside DJ Psych and the Dog Pound, which is associated with Snoop Dogg, Tupac, etc., doing that G-Funk. So, talk box, yes. So we decided we would team up to do a song called Crash. And I know you know who I'm talking about when I say I got a crash. So yeah, Crush will be out May 21st, 2021. Ooh. 21, y'all.
So y'all, that was the sneak preview from Adesha Crush. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know who you crushing on, okay?
Yes, please. Ooh. I need to put that on my IG. Who you crushing on?
Yes. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. We're so grateful for this platform, grateful for the advocacy work you've been doing in the dance community and Oakland at large. And yeah, we just love you.
It's true. Andrea, I just wanted to say, you touched on it just a little bit earlier. I've been watching you, and it's so, every time I see when you post a dance video, your choreography, I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do anything. Aww. You know? And I think just seeing you evolve over the years, it's so true. Like you've really like outdone, I think, I mean, there's so many people that you used to dance with, and you've really done an incredible job. And so I just want to say I've been so super inspired. I'm honored to be on here with both of you.
Yay!
Thank you so much. I feel so seen.
Yes, Black Girl Magic together. But I will say, Lexi, I took an Afro-Haitian dance class with this girl. And, you know, like you said, if she can do it, I can do it. I was like, she can do it. I can't. She can do it. I can't. I'm just going to admire.
That's all right. Right, exactly.
And you know what? That's okay.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Because guess what? There's still hip hop. There's still some salsa. There's still some somatic practices. Girl. You can join Alexis with her yoga at the crack of dawn. Boom.
Yes.
Look, and I'm like, and there's still some admiration from afar on the sideline. No, totally. I mean, Afro-Haitian was amazing. I'll do it any day, and then admire.
Thank you. So thank you to everyone out there listening to The Black Landscape with Andrea Spearman, where Black excellence is always trending.